not a comedian, Stephen Colbert, weighs in on the scriptures because he's an idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's why we're going to have so much fun today. Welcome to In Exile. This is where all the happy people are.
Remember, to get elected, Jordan or anyone else would need 217 votes, and that feels nearly impossible in this fractured caucus.
This is about the Jim Jordan vote, and Stephen Colbert knows nothing, cares nothing, and can't be funny. But he's going to weigh in on Jesus in a minute.
As Missouri's Mark Alford explained.
You could put Jesus Christ up for Speaker of the House, and he still wouldn't get 217.
Well, that's true. The modern GOP would never vote for Jesus. I mean, he was soft on Samaritans and commanded everyone to sell their possessions and give the money to the poor. The guy was clearly a socialist.
He brings up the Good Samaritan because the Good Samaritan was good because he gave up his own time, his own resources. What if he told the guy in need, let the government cut you a check? He would not go down in history as good. He'd be known as the good-for-nothing Samaritan. And that's true of socialists. They want the government to do all their personal good work for them. Nowhere in the scriptures will you find Jesus saying that you should buckle the means of production under the government. That's socialism. Where in the Bible does it say that the government should pick winners and losers? That the government should give their money to green cars, to drag queen strip shows? In fact, it's the Pharisees that try to trap Jesus about should he pay taxes? And he goes, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, and he give unto the Lord what is the Lord's. By the way, everything is the Lord's. The socialism of Bernie Sanders and AOC is to rob Peter to pay Paul, not to get you to give your stuff away, but to extract taxes from other people. Then I make them, those rich taxes, give to the poor. I don't have to do anything. It's actually a way to rob people of being genuinely charitable, which was the church's job to do. And if there's any clear message of Christ, it's that Christians are to love the poor, care for the poor, pray for the poor. And anytime there's a shooting, it's the Democrat socialists that are saying, stop praying, don't pray. When people offer up their prayers for victims, they go, keep your prayers. That's the exact opposite message of Jesus, who wants us to stay constantly in prayer for others, even for our enemies, which is why I constantly pray for Stephen Colbert. Democrats don't even believe in inheritance. They want you to be gouged for your inheritance, which reminds me of the biblical story where the one brother says, Master, speak to my brother and tell him to divide his inheritance with me. And Jesus says to him, man, who made me the judge over you? Jesus actually says he doesn't want to get involved in that inheritance, which Democrats are obsessed with what you do with your inheritance. So Colbert runs his mouth all day about Christians, and really he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He was worse than a socialist. He was a Christian.
Well, at least I'm a Christian. And Jesus was not a socialist, and Stephen Colbert is not a comedian. I'm Doug in Exile.